What's up, friends? Okay, today we're going to be talking about listing preparations, and we're going to be using my house here on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. as the example. I have almost sold, almost 1,000 properties, and I've learned a ton about what works and what doesn't work. And I think there's a lot of misinformation out in the marketplace where people are trying to prepare their home for sale and they don't know what to do. And so we're going to give you a bunch of tips and tricks. We're actually going to be preparing my home for sale for a photo shoot, and we're going to be guiding you through the whole process from start to finish. So let's go do it together. First impressions are everything. When you're looking online on a property, people see pictures and that's their first impression. You only got a very small instance for someone to decide, do they like it or do they not like it, to get them in your home. And then when they get there in the home, you've got to make sure that what they see online is what they see in person. So for example, never do virtual staging, because when you do virtual staging, the home looks better online than it does in person. You want your home to look better in person than it does online. So for me, the biggest thing you want to do is when you enter the home, you want to have as much space as possible. So for me on day-to-day living, I like to have my couch pulled back a little bit further, so I've got more space to chill out and relax. But if I'm listing my home for sale, I'm actually going to be pushing that couch in a little bit tighter so that I've got space, as much space as possible in my entryway. So when someone walks in the home, they feel, wow, this home is so big and spacious. The other thing I really encourage people to think about on first impressions is showing as much floor as possible. I don't have any area rugs here. I live that way, but if I had a rug here, I'd remove it. And the reason why is I want to show how big the space is. And by having one consistent floor throughout the space, it maximizes that kind of feeling for the consumer. Now, the other thing that's also really important, and it's not maybe something you can do easily, but it's what we call a feature light or a feature anchor space. So for me, I was kind of bougie, and I love this chandelier. This is from Our House. They've got some really nice product. But this entire light was a feature anchor item that matched this long table. And then we also did an anchor mirror. And the whole purpose of this is when someone walks in, they see, wow, the house feels huge, it feels clean, but they also get anchored to get captured into one space and draw yourself into the home. So for dining spaces and spaces in general, I try to keep things really simple. Each surface, I'd actually kind of recommend simplifying the space. We always have these up, but I would take all of these down, just because I think it can be a little bit too much for some people sometimes. And then I like my 2 candlesticks in the center, and I think less is always more. But one thing I might recommend is always doing a feature item on a dining space. Or if you want to go crazy, you can set a whole table for photos, but not realistic if you're going to be showing the home for sale, because guarantee something's going to be broken. I would take some fresh flowers as a nice centerpiece, and all of a sudden we're taking that beautiful dining room light, some fresh flowers, 2 nice crystal centerpieces to anchor the space, and anyone walking in is going to feel, wow, this home is clean, clutter-free, and pristine. Maximize value for sure. So do that in all surfaces throughout the property. This includes your dining tables. My mixed nuts probably need to go, not helpful selling the property. Decluttering with small features. I love a good table book to anchor a space and line those up. People are going to be interested in what you're reading. Pillows are really important to create pops of color. When you're prepping your space for sale, I think it's really important that you guys don't overdo things. So maybe a white couch isn't for you, but we love it. But we wanted to create the feeling of pops of color, not in the primary anchor items, but in the accessory items as well. And so we have a blue and pink theme. I love blue, my wife loves pink. And so for us, this was all accented in pillows. So pillows, I love giving it a good bah, 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 and then a good karate chop in the center. And boom, she's done. Let's do it one more time. It's like my favorite thing to do. So karate chop it. Blankets, don't overcomplicate them. One on the side is really nice. Sometimes people try to Joanna Gaines things up and clump them up and throw everywhere. It never works, guys. Always have one simple one draped on the side. Keep it clean with your karate chopped pillows, and you are going to be good to go for usually first impressions. And don't forget, you got to maintain this. Now, I love plants. So if you notice, plants don't need to be expensive. Welcome to my lovely Target plant. I got this at Target for clearance for $39.99. Let's go. It is chipped in the back, but I love it so much. I have this plant in 2 locations. A pop of green and a pop of color dramatically transform the space. Go to Home Goods, go to Target, and get a couple of plants and put them strategically around the property. I also love Trader Joe's. I always get some really nice flowers from Trader Joe's to anchor the space, and they come in different color pots, which again bleed into the different kind of chairs we have, and then our accent pillows as well, which is really nice. All very, very, very important. Okay, depersonalizing space is next. I love this photo. Very first photo of my wife and I on our very first date. I look like I'm 11 years old because I think I was, but not great for selling your home unless people want to know who you are. So be strategic there. I believe you should probably take these down. So I like to depersonalize. Don't put generic photos in. And then take what you have and create a really even spread of items that's usually very easy for people to understand the use of space. I like to line up items from tallest to shortest, back to front. Creates alignment and easy for people to understand, and then keep things perpendicular. So boom, nice and easy. Now down below, I love the mixture of both plants, books, and also other detailed items because I think it creates a lot of contrast and interest. People are gonna fall in love in the space because the space is cute. So personalization away, nice, clean, and organized. It's gonna feel like you don't live here, but at the same time, that's kind of what people want. Okay, next is kitchens. People love to overcomplicate kitchens. I'm slowly piling up all of the stuff we're removing from my house. So in kitchen spaces, this is how I'm living day to day. I got some extra clutter on the countertops. Biggest thing is people love putting soap containers out, especially fancy ones, like they buy them and put them out. Less is more. So take all of these away. If it's photo day, throw them in the sink. If not, throw them below. Doesn't matter where they go. Same thing with all of these paper towel holders. We love these cool paper towel holders, but they don't really help in the sale. All of that goes into my do not go into photo list. And even this little soap dispenser all goes away. Nice, clean, and clutter-free is always best. But then you can create the contrast as well. So I love our floating shelves. And so we can still create interest in photos by giving some uniqueness in the space. So some cooking books, some cute little dinner bells, and of course, depersonalizing this space. And all of a sudden, you still have a very interesting space, but it's so clean and so fresh. People are gonna love your kitchen when they're in here. Now, regarding the kitchen and appliances, I still think if you're gonna do a feature space, normally the stove might be the best place to do that. Obviously, my pots and pans can go away. These go to my ever-growing area of things to go away. And then I think a pop of color that ties in the space can really be beneficial. So I love this teapot. It's my wife's favorite one. This creates a nice anchor. You got an anchor of the dining room light and the flowers. You got an anchor here in the space. And then everything else needs to go away. Now, if we're creating congruency in a space, this is also beneficial. If you're going to be using anything in the property that might be a fixture or something like this, like a breadbasket, you can use them as anchors in dining room tables as well. I would just always try to keep them empty or simple. Now, in any space where there's a lot of white, like I have here, I always like using things like a plant to add contrast in a space so people understand that their eye gets drawn to the corner and creates depth in a photo. And then of course you can spread things out. I really suggest that you don't keep any live fruit or anything in your photos, okay? They go bad and initially they're gonna probably be moldy or brown bananas, and this all goes away. My pile of stuff is getting bigger. And then we're gonna create little accent pieces that are consistent with height. So right by there, gold ties into the theme, a nice little calendar. And then all of my day-to-day items here all go away. So all of this is gonna go away here as well. So we're gonna go ahead and take these. And then appliances are the last big one. I think one thing that people forget is that you don't need to have your appliances all plugged in, good to go, because I think cords can actually look bad in photos and it's not always beneficial to you. So what I do is I unplug my coffee maker from my morning coffee, and you're just gonna roll that up in your hand, and then you can use a simple rubber band and tie that behind, and just tuck that behind your appliance, and again, put it in the corner, and all of a sudden you don't have that wire. Nice, clean look, and boom, you got a nice, clean corner all the way across. Pops of colors and contrast. People will walk in and they'll love the space. Okay, even me, my super decluttered house, all of this stuff in my home is gonna go away. Put it in cupboards, put in closets, and then our main level area is prepped and good to go. Next is closets. Well, this one's pretty full because I put some stuff away before you got here, but it can be jam-packed full of stuff. People don't mind. Closets are used for space. Then we got bathrooms. I believe bathrooms should be very, very simple spaces. A couple key things that you can do. In bathroom spaces, I think garbage cans are better to be taken away than be there, even if they're nice. And definitely don't ever have a trash bag inside. So take the trash bag out, and if you have a nice, clean trash bin, you can leave it there, otherwise remove it. Next is don't overcomplicate towels. Sometimes people think they need towels in each space. I keep a towel here because it's functional, Because this bathroom is tight though, I'd actually recommend that you remove towels, highlight the beautiful fixtures that you have that match, and just keep the countertops all very simple and highlighted. No matter what you do, put your toilet seat down. All right, now for my world's absolute biggest pet peeve, which is toilet paper rolls. I hate when toilet paper rolls look messy. They're left like this or they're crumpled. So my biggest advice to all of you is to just fold it into a triangle. It's the easiest thing to do. 1, 2, 3. Fold each side like that, all the way up, so it's nice and crisp and clean. And then pull it tight down at the bottom, like that. And then you're gonna do what's called a water stamp. You're just gonna go ahead and take some water with your finger, and you're gonna stamp that with your finger, water stamp. It's gonna dry, well, for me, it's not working perfectly, but it should dry perfectly right there, and hold it down, and voila. Beautiful toilet paper, goes a long way. All right guys, thanks for following me in my house as I prep it for photos. I hope you learned something today. If you want to learn more, subscribe for more, help support the channel, because we're really excited about sharing some amazing information about real estate with you guys. And of course, if you have questions, blow us up with comments. We'd love to connect with you, or follow us on Instagram or Facebook.